Hey guys, Omni here. 3 days ago, we covered the reveal of the next Star Wars game from EA, and that was Star Wars Squadrons. We got some good FMVs, cinematic pre-rendered trailer, just kind of showing off a little bit of what we might get to expect from the game. But today, 3 days later, we got our official gameplay trailer. This one is much longer, coming in at 5 minutes, 46 seconds of gameplay. So I'm really excited to see what they do with this because I love the Starfighter games of the past. I feel like in this realm, there is a lot to live up to. And we talked about before where we're not sure how much of the balance is going to be between the single player, if there is one, or the multiplayer aspect of it, because they do seem to be very much focused on that. So I'm curious to see what they have to show off here, how much this goes into it, if this is pre-rendered game, like simulation gameplay or actual gameplay. We'll see if we can tell. So without rambling on too much longer, we're just going to go ahead, pull up the trailer, and give it a look. Motive. Represents game in development.
The second Death Star is gone. The Imperial fleet is still a threat.
Okay. It is post-return then.
Let's make history.
This is it, Titan Squadron. Everything we've done has led to this. Finish those Vanguard scum.
This is Star Wars Squadrons. Earn your
it looks
wings in a
gorgeous.
single-player story spanning two factions. All stations.
Single-player story between two separate factions.
And master multiplayer battles as a squadron of 5. With the option to play the entire game in VR. This
Oh,
is a
really?
definitive Star Wars pilot experience.
Now that's a cool concept there. Too bad I don't have anything
Begin your career
as far as a VR setup, sadly.
Welcome to Titan Squadron.
where you'll play as 2 combat pilots, flying for both the Empire and the New Republic.
Okay.
You'll experience this world through your cockpit. The instrumentation in front of you provides critical feedback about power management, targeting, and shields.
Oh, cool.
With a squadron of diverse characters at your side, prove your skills on increasingly challenging
Personally,
missions.
I've always preferred the third person
Hello, Vanguard. Welcome to the Nadiri.
Hera
One of my spies has linked the
like
attacks with the
view,
Republic
like
Star
outside the
Project.
cockpit. So that'll be something I would need to get used to.
Pilots you play
Stick together.
will shape the balance of power in the galaxy.
Get ready.
Let him have it. To take the fight online, you'll need flight time with all 8 ships. Fighters are the most flexible and versatile, able to handle any situation.
Say 8 different ship
Interceptors
types.
are fast and highly maneuverable.
Dude,
Ideal for hunting down your opponent's starfighters.
That was kind of fun.
Support ships
TIE
can
Reaper,
keep allies safe
U-Wing.
and stocked up, as well as disrupting enemy fighters.
it's like a support class.
Bombers are the heavy hitters.
Yeah,
able to deal
wide wing.
devastating damage to enemy flagships and starfighters.
But if you've got a preferred component and need something customized, I'll take care of it.
Unlock everything you need to customize your pilot and starfighters simply by playing the game. From cosmetics to an arsenal of over 50 components that alter how your ships fly, fight, and survive.
All in game, right?
Deal with it.
You can
No.
dramatically change your loadout depending on your
No,
squadron's strategy.
Finally got him.
This will be
randomized,
critical in
like,
Star Wars
loot.
Squadrons multiplayer modes. First up, dogfights. This is an all-out 5v5 battle.
Holy crap.
Fine-tune your loadouts to work as a team.
Moving in on the enemy.
Utilize components like tractor beams.
So this would be like
and mines to
team
slow down your
deathmatch in
opponents
space.
or set up your squad mates
No
for the
objective,
kill.
just purely dogfighting.
For teams looking for
That's
an
cool.
even greater challenge, it's time to prove yourself in Star Wars Squadron's signature mode, Fleet Battles.
Dude,
Fleet battles are multi-stage conflicts. Whether playing solo or with friends, you'll have the option to compete against other players or AI as a squadron of 5. team in the social hub to solidify strategy,
So what?
coordinate loadouts, and prepare.
Is it like the first team to destroy like the enemy flagship?
Push the front line by winning the dogfight in the center of the map. Next, attack or defend 2 medium-sized capital ships.
We've lost our capital ships.
And finally, the ultimate goal: target and destroy the subsystems of your opponent's massive flagship and take it down.
Dude,
At each phase, your squadron either pushes the line forward or falls back to defend.
Keep our flagship safe.
It's your squadron's
that's
choice
kind of
how to
like
play.
the Battlefront 2 like
Speedy, unrelenting
maps
assault.
that were set up in the beta, from what I remember. Because I never actually played Battlefront 2 once it fully released. I remember the beta, the battles were very, you know, phase-based as you're pushing in to capture territories. And this seems like that same concept, but in space.
Is the key to victory.
Taking my attack run now. Let's make this count.
Let's try spinning. That's a cool trick.
This is Star Wars Squadrons. Join the galaxy's finest and make your mark.
Pilots. Wanted.
The hope of this galaxy.
I'll be real. I think this looks awesome. I think it looks really well put together. And I like the modes that they've talked about so far. I like the breakdown into the ship classes and how it breaks down between your playstyle, how you contribute to your squad. And I'm curious to see how much or how fleshed out the campaign is going to be, like the single player mode. You know, they did say that it was split up between 2 different characters, the member of the New Republic squad, and then you have the remnants of the Empire still kind of hanging on to what little power they have. And I'm curious to see if they each have their own campaign, if you're switching back and forth between the two. Because unless I missed it, it didn't seem like it was very clear on how that's going to play out, what the pacing of that's going to be. So I'm curious to see how much of that's divided, if they both have their each individual campaign, or if it overlaps, you're switching back and forth, kind of Halo 2 style. I don't know, but it looks great. Like visually, it looks awesome. I hope it plays well. I hope it's not too clunky. Again, any of the games I played, aside from the original TIE Fighter and X-Wing games that were on PC with the joysticks that I mentioned in the last video, that's the only time I recall playing one of these games and being locked in the cockpit. I know you had that option in some of the other ones, but I always played outside the ship because that's just how I like to do it. And I know it's less immersive, but it's the way I'm most comfortable playing. And I don't feel like I definitely feel like we don't have that option in this game. So it will be something I'll have to get used to. But I do want to play this. I do want to give it a shot. It looks great. I like the modes. I like how you have the dogfight mode, which sounds just like intense star battle fun, and then taking that to the fleet mode, which is just insane. I really like that idea about it, like the team on the defense, the team on the attack, the objective to push each other's territories. So I'm wondering, because whoever wins the dogfight stage has their fleet get encroached upon. So, whoever wins gets to encroach upon the losing teams and move on to that stage. So does it all hinge on that? Can you defend and push back, return to the dogfight stage, and then push? If you lose the dogfight stage, this is just me speculating right now because I'm not sure how this works. If this is something that's kind of based off of something they've done before, say for example, and we might not have these answers yet. Say for example, you lose the dogfight stage. You go down to stage 2, which is the onslaught onto the heavier carrier ships. Say you defend your defenses are impenetrable. You just for whatever reason, you fluked out, you lost the dogfight, and then you're on the defense. Are you purely defending at that point, or can you push forward, return to the dogfight stage, push back, and then go after their stuff? Or once you lose that stage, you are just on defense mode and you only win by holding them off. I'm just curious, like how extensive that could be, because depending on how it is, you can end up with some really drawn out and tense battles. You could be, well, it could be tense, or it could be really monotonous if you keep like tug of warring back and forth like that. Just imagine getting all the way to their flagship, and then you just cannot, for whatever reason, you just start dropping the ball hard in that last set and getting pushed back all the way back to square one. That would be disheartening. So I'd imagine maybe just to keep the matches shorter and more fluid, you got your dogfight stage. Whoever wins, that is where the progression decides. So it moves in, and from there, it's just defense and attack. You've lost your ability to attack their flagships because you lost the dogfight. In a way, that would suck, just to kind of get pushed out of it that early, and not be able to pull back. So I don't know. That's just me speculating based on what we've seen in this trailer. But I love the variety in the starships. Their different perks and uses. Some of them working great in the various different stages, and then some definitely designed for those later impacts, like the bomber runs. If you die, do you respawn and get to re-choose your ship? Do you commit to your ship loadout? Can you have more than one ship in a squad? I don't know. It looks great. I think this is a good start with what we're seeing for this, and it honestly leaves me kind of hopeful for it to be really well done. At least on production wise, it looks great, and the aesthetic and the feel of Star Wars seems to all be there. I just hope it plays well. It's fun. It's balanced. And we don't have this pay to win, randomized loot box thing. Even though they said there's no loot boxes in this, and you purely get this stuff through playing the game. I really hope that's the case, and they land solid on that, because I'm always watching EA with that, trying to sneak that stuff in. Thankfully, Fallen Order didn't run into that problem, and Battlefront 2, from what I've heard and understood, after its initial first couple of months, finally did get away from that. So maybe they're learning, maybe we'll move forward and not have to deal with that. So I'm going to pass it off to you guys. What are your thoughts on this trailer? What are some things that you liked about it? What are some things you want out of it that we may not have seen so far? Sound off the comments. Let's carry on the conversation after the video. Thank you guys for tuning in. I hope you are staying safe out there. I really appreciate you guys. But that's it for today. I'll catch you guys next time. Take care, everybody.